seems like I'm live again. Hello to whoever's here. Probably no one, but that's okay. Because it's time to do some studying. Yay. I want to try to sound enthusiastic, but honestly I can't really muster up the mood to, because I really do have a lot of essays to write. Well, two very large essays, and it's kind of difficult to talk about a lot of stuff. So thanks for whoever's coming to study together with me. But if you've got your stuff ready, I don't know, kikoemasu ka? There might not be anyone here, so even if I ask if anyone can hear, nobody might. I don't think anybody will tell me. But I'm just gonna assume that we do. We're live, we're fine, we're studying, and let's start. 24 minutes, 34 seconds of productivity. Before that, let me turn down the music volume a bit. It's a little bit loud. I hope you guys can still hear the music. I can still hear it, but it's kind of soft. I think that's okay. Alright, let's start studying. Timer start. Oh yeah, I'm actually concentrating a bit more today because I really need to get working. But yes, hello. Weather is hot AF. Where I am right now, there's a bit of a cool wind temperature. Cool. What's the word? When the weather is just like a little bit colder than usual for a small period of time. Cool. can't remember the word I'm trying to look for. Oh well. Okay, I'll focus. I can do it. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm just a little bit frustrated with the essay right now. I have 1,500 words each, well, plus or minus 10%, our professor said. But, I've got like a little less than half than that right now, and it's kind of annoying to deal with. And that's only one of my essays, I need 2 of them. And I'm starting with the essay that I'm a little bit more confident in, so there's that. But even then, it's kind of difficult to write. But it's due on Thursday, so I still have some time, so I'll be working on it a lot. So I probably won't be procrastinating much today. Can't afford to. So yeah, break time, yay. Let's open up the other one that I did last week. Let's do it. Loop. Thanks for the support though, I really appreciate it. University is quite hard. I think I prefer my university essay to this. This is my master's. Well, I mean, I guess, well, communication. It's for a communication for research scientist course. And I guess it's just the topic that's hard. I mean, I can talk about the topic, but I'm struggling to talk about it for 1,500 words, you know? Yeah, but that's okay. This just means that I need to get my words together, think about some things a bit more, properly cite and reference stuff. But it's okay. It's kind of like a persuasive essay at this point. And let me kind of magic on using you got ads with an ad blocker. That's strange. I use an ad blocker as well. Sounds cool, not gonna lie. Okay, hang on, let me change the music name. You got ads with an ad blocker, that's strange. I'm using an ad blocker, but I don't get ads. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I disable it when I watch other people's YouTube videos because that's how the creators get paid, you know? Hang on. Let's do it. Yes. YouTubers who content create for their jobs, like their regular jobs, they earn money from ad revenue, which means that every time if you click into a video and you see an ad, it means that a small portion, like a few cents maybe going to the creator. Well, YouTube takes some of the money, of course, because otherwise how are they gonna get the money? It's capitalism. No, it's not. Yeah, I'm just using the regular ad blocker for now because I don't need to see ads on my own videos. That's kind of like clicking into my own videos, looking like constantly getting ads all the time so I can get money. That's kind of unethical in my opinion. So I have my ad blocker on right now. If you're wondering what my essay is about, we're trying to argue for this particular topic. We're trying to argue about it. I don't know if I can talk about it, but in general terms, it's a persuasive essay about, I guess there's some ethical concerns and research concerns about clinical trials, and if I don't know how much I can say without saying too much. Something about voluntary participation, I suppose. Because, for example, if you're offered, I don't know, here's some water, thanks. I'll drink some water. Received. That's not water, but it's close enough. What was I talking about? Voluntary participation. Like, for example, if you're offered, say, if you participate in this research trial that's completely new and we don't know what will happen, but you'll get $2,000 afterwards, would you do it? Like, $2,000 is a lot of money, and some people who are really struggling financially might take up on the offer despite any risks because of the money, and that is an ethical concern because that would be a breach of voluntary participation, and that's ethics. You don't want that because that's unethical. Like, now, like, money buys everything. You don't. That's not how things. That's not the right way things should work in the world, yeah? No, that's one part of the essay that I'm talking about. Whoa, what? There's some really interesting ethical dilemmas in research, so there's a lot you need to think about for sure. Oh, that was fast. I'm trying to work on my essay for another half hour again, I suppose. It was a nice little talk. I can talk about it a little more after. Well, let me tell you first though about water. Even though I'm not drinking water technically, I'm drinking like, I guess it's kind of a mix between juice and energy drink of sorts. But my renal physiology, which means renal means the study of kidneys. Renal physiology teacher back in 4th year of undergrad, he said that, you know, liquid intake is liquid intake. Your kidneys filter out stuff and stuff, but if people say that, oh my gosh, you have to drink 7 cups of water every day, or however many, I don't know, I never counted. Technically speaking, I mean, you've heard it from me, but I heard it from my professor. Technically speaking, juice counts as well, coffee counts as well, tea, soup, so long as it's liquid, because liquid is what it's got filters by your kidneys, and so long as it's liquid content, you're getting hydrated. Although technically alcohol works as well because it's a liquid, but people say that, but then it also has a diuretic effect. With diuretic, it means that it makes you want to go to the washroom, basically. It makes you want to produce urine, and that's because, well, you're getting your liquid intake, but you're also losing a lot more water from going to the washroom. So, base of all those drinks is water, so it kind of counts. But it also depends. Base of alcohol is water too, but it also makes you go potty, and you lose water that way. So even though you're getting hydrated, you're also getting dehydrated. So yeah. Alright. So next time if your mom tells you, hey, drink more water, you have to drink so much water every day, you could tell her, no, don't tell her that. It's not, it doesn't work on Asian mothers. I tried it on my mom, believe me, it didn't work. Alright, studying again. guys want to help me with something? I'm trying to find a word. I'm trying to find a word for, so like, if someone develops, a researcher develops a new drug, for example, let's say, I don't know, for countering depression, and they say that, hey, this drug works, but you need trials to see if it works, right? So I'm trying to say that clinical trials are studies that aim to determine if a drug is like safe to consume and useful, but I don't want to use the word useful. I'm not sure what word I should use though. It's not useful because it's not like you're gonna use a drug, but it's like I want to say a word that's kind of like useful, but it means that the drug works on people. But I can't just say that aim to see if a drug works. Determine. I'm trying to find just one single word. So I aim to determine not only the safety of the new drug, but also the usefulness. That's not the word I'm looking for though. Usefulness. Determine the. Oh gosh. What's a word? Determine. I can't think of it. I'll just search up a synonym and it pops up. Usefulness. Determine. It's not functionality, practicality, adequacy. Efficacy! That's the word! Efficacy. Okay, there we go. It's just gone. I got the word I needed. Sorry about that. There isn't supposed to be a phone call this time. Okay. That's another 24 minutes and a half. Yay. Did a bit more of my essay, have an introduction mostly ready. Just need to search up some more statistics and stuff. Yay. Kinda. No, I'm not very enthusiastic today. Let's see what the next music should be now. Oh, I've got more than 100 views on this video now. That's nice. I think my videos have been averaging just a little over 100 lately, so that's always nice. I sound tired. Yeah, I feel really done with the essays, but I'm not done yet, so I'm still doing it. Yeah. I mean, if you want me to sound enthusiastic. No, I don't really want to today. I mean, you put on Geminids again. I really like Geminids. It's a very calming song as well. Oh. Okay, let me change the music title. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm also talking about clinical trials in my essay because that's kind of related to what the topic is about. That's Geminids Chronoalu. I think there's a lu after. Chronoalu. I'm not sure. Or is it just Chronoa? It might be just Chronoa. Noir. Français. C'est le français noir. If I have a black cat, I'm gonna name it Shiro for white in Japanese because I'm funny that way. I'm not funny. Imagine just a black cat named Shiro and a white cat named Kuro though. That would be kind of funny. Well, maybe just in my book. But yeah, we could talk about clinical trials a bit, part of my essay. So, clinical trials are kind of like ganbatte, arigato. Clinical trials are kind of like the stepping stone between a development of a new drug and the commercialization or prescription to general population or general public. So like if someone made a new drug, not only and said, hey, this might one of your cats names is actually Shiro and Kuro. I guess we share similar naming habits. If someone makes a drug and we like, this works, you're not gonna just take it at face value. So clinical trials kind of help gain that trust because they determine the efficacy and safety of either new drugs, treatments, or whatnot. Let's see. There are just different phases of clinical trials. Hello, can you eating flowers? Turtle. Clinical trials. There's actually like phase 0 to phase 4 or something. With phase 0 being like, hey, I developed this new drug, and phase 1 is like, let's see if this drug is safe. And 2, 3, 4. I think 3 is like, but is this drug better than what we have already? And phase 4 is like, but what else do we need to know? Stuff like that. Well, phase 1 clinical trials in particular are a bit more risky because they're trying to determine if the drug is safe or not, and you don't know if it's safe or not. It might not be safe, so it's hard to recruit people for that. Yeah, as for why there's turtles in the chat, it's because... Wait, you know each other? Turtles in the chat because medical ethics stuff is complicated, yeah. Turtles in the chat because I have a video named Turtles, and it's just me videotaping turtles and saying sorry for being in their way. There were a lot of turtles somehow. It was a nice day of just hanging out with turtles, I guess. Not really. You two know each other? That's nice. What else can I talk about for the next bit? I don't have any pets. I'd like a cat someday in the future though. I might be turned into an old cat lady or something, but you know, I wouldn't mind being an old cat lady when I retire in the future or something. Yeah, it's okay. I know no one here either. She recommended my channel. Ah, thank you. That makes me really happy. That people are actually recommending my channel to other people and more exposure and stuff. Oh my gosh, I feel so good now. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. It doesn't take a lot to make me happy. I'd be happy with just small things like this. Yeah, but I am a student, so I'm working on studying and stuff. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure. It's nice to keep busy. And it's not like I can just stream all day, you know. Well, streaming's nice and fun. Fun in a way that I get to talk to people like this, kind of. And, well, I guess talk to myself, basically. Well, at least just talk in general, because I usually don't talk. I guess I'm kind of different on stream than I usually am sometimes. Anyways, let's start another cycle. Cycle 3. Thank you, Cheska. This is cycle 3, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's keep going. I am not accustomed to Twitch chat culture. I mean, I know poggers because a friend of mine told me that was poggers. I'm just like, what's poggers? And then I searched it up and she called me a boomer. I guess I am kind of a boomer even though the age range is a little off. Emily! Okay, Emily is someone I know in real life. The other people I don't, but you were talking about how if we know people in real life, I mean, we can all be friends, that's fine. Friends are always nice. But in real life, I know Emily. Yeah. Speaking of which, yeah, Emily is the one who told me a bit about Twitch chat culture and introduced me to the word poggers. That was a pog. Poggers. Is that how you say it? I'm not sure. Or I could try and say it in a Japanese accent and be like, that was pogas. Like, submitted assignment 8 minutes before deadline. Nice. I've submitted one assignment before, like 2 minutes before the deadline before, and that was too nerve-wracking, so I've grown accustomed to trying to finish it at least a day before. But if not, at least a few hours before. Pogas. Then she's saying poggers. Pogas. That was pogas. That was pogas. That's poggers. Pogger. Why is it poggers? As in, like, is there like a singular form? Like, that was pogger? Or is poggers like the singular form of the word? Is poggers a noun? Or is it an adjective? And pog is kind of an adjective, right? But if you say that was poggers, it could be an adjective or a noun. But if it was a noun, then is it that was pogger? Pogas. Pogchamp. Ah, poga. Pogchamp. So is it like, does that mean like the champion of being cool? I'm not sure. Or is it just like a saying of that was a great play? From some guy that's already been cancelled on Twitter, an original PogChamp. I see. On Twitter? Do you mean Twitter or Twitch? Because PogChamp, you said, was a Twitch term, right? And Twitch changed name. Ah, I see. I'm not too familiar with Twitch, to be honest. Because you can follow someone, but then there's like subscription, which costs money, and then you can share bits or whatnot, which costs money, and then you could do, I don't know, you can donate money, which costs money. I think Twitch is very based upon money and streaming, so that's kind of one of the reasons. PogChamp is now a Komodo dragon. Oh, Komodo dragons are cool. Dragons are cool, period. Bits is pointless. I think it's usually just for people to, for streamers to notice people, right? You can't cancel a Komodo dragon unless Komodo dragons are cool. Dragons are cool. I'm not born in the year of the dragon though, but I think I know quite a few people who are. I've been watching a lot of VTubers lately, Niji-sanji, and they're cool. I want to be like them someday. I've been browsing Pinterest for their fan art as well, and just like, oh my gosh, why do all their fan art look so amazing and cool? It's like donating $5 and Twitch is like, hey, thanks for giving the streamer exactly 2.5 USD. Yeah, that's why I don't really understand why people donate on Twitch for streaming. And sometimes I see people on YouTube, there's stuff like super chats, right? I see people donating like hundreds of dollars sometimes for really influential VTubers. And I'm just like, how do people have that much money? I go on Twitter, yeah. There's hashtags and stuff. So sometimes I browse through VTuber fan art. But I do have a Pinterest account that I sometimes use. Not often though, it's kind of like a guilty pleasure. But yeah, I like looking at fan art and being like, they look so cool and kakkoi, and it's like, ikemen sou desu. And it's like, oh, they're so epic. There's so many talented people out there. If only I had a fraction of that talent though. Or I could just keep it. You could think everybody else can just keep it, and hopefully I'll come across one for myself someday too. I think that's kind of like my selfish goal. My selfish goal is just to become someone like VTubers and Nijisanji and have my own fan art someday. I like looking at fan art because sometimes the artist's personality really shines through, and everybody's artist's style is different too. Sometimes you can see a personality of the person drawing behind it. And I'm sure people who are drawn fan art for are really thankful as well, because it makes you feel, I don't know, like people are appreciating you a bit. I guess I need a bit more of that in my life. Trying to figure out a conclusion for my essay, even though I'm not finished the body of it yet. Because sometimes I like to skip around parts of the essay, depending on what ideas I have. But a conclusion I always struggle with. Because like, I know that you're supposed to kind of summarize the main ideas of your essay or paragraphs or whatnot in a different way, with a take-home message. But mine is usually pretty short, and I just don't know how to wrap things up cleanly. That's kind of a hard word to say sometimes. Cleanly. Cleanly. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's not a hard word to say, but when I'm trying to not say things really loudly, it's a bit difficult to say. Lately I've been watching some translated clips of a Nijisanji VTuber, Azumi Kai-san, like the white hat hacker. He seems very cool. He's very soft-spoken too. I like his voice. I'd like to learn some hacking tips. Nijisanji VTubers are so talented though. I think relatively new one, I think, from the newest wave, Kaida-san. Kaida Haru-san? I'm not sure. Oh, sorry. See you, bye. Maybe I should focus on my own schoolwork for now too. I'll talk a bit more during the break. Thanks for coming to my stream. Although you're probably gone already, but thank you. Turtles. Good luck with your schoolwork. I'm gonna close essay 2 for now and open up essay 1 because I think I've squeezed out a lot of ideas for essay 2 already. And I can't really think of anything at that moment, so let me pull up essay 1. Yeah, essay 1 is a slightly different topic. 2 essays at the same time, multitask. Well, both of them are for the same class and are due on the same day at the same time, and both of them are 1,500 words, so, you know. It's kind of a hassle, but what has to be done has to be done. Yeah, the first essay I was talking about like ethics, clinical trials, and stuff like that. A bit of statistics too. But this first essay is more about animal research. sorry about the phone call. It's kind of about like what would happen if suddenly a law was passed that scientists can no longer use animal research. And then that's the topic at least, and now I have to argue for 1,500 words what would be the ramifications of that. Are you even thinking about animal research? Yeah. Animal research is different from just using cell cultures and stuff, for sure. I think that's one part of what I'm gonna talk about for my essay. I mean, if you've done it yourself and never want to do it again, that's fine. It isn't for everybody, and it's... Although, I guess... Yeah. What was I gonna say? You don't have to like animal research to go into research. I've done some animal research before. I've done non-animal research as well. Again, everybody is suited for different roles, so maybe some people are more suited for animal research than other people, and some people, I guess, I get a little bit uneasy sometimes too, to be honest. So I'm kind of glad that for now my own research is just cell cultures. Although sometimes it is, in my essay I am going to, it feels bad when you mess up and waste actual lives. Yeah, although that's part of the cycle of life. But it's okay, because you've gained experience. It depends. Snapdragon, thank you for coming to my stream. In some people, like if you're in zoology, for example, you might be observing them in different environments, stuff like that, or trying to learn about a new species. Other types of animal research can be behavioral, like trying to understand how a brain works, or different parts of a brain works, by doing behavioral experiments, like having a mouse navigate a maze and trying to time them and stuff like that. There's other ones like physiological research, where you'd perform surgery on animals and see if a surgical procedure or treatment can be useful for humans. So I guess in this particular essay, it's more about the... I'm not sure, I think it should mostly just using animals in general for research, so it can go either way. But I think for my essay, I'm going to have to argue that although you have to understand that animal research has a lot of ethics behind it. There's a very important ethical considerations. There's an ethical committee behind every single research lab or project that requires animals. They're composed of not only research scientists, but also vets, even just regular people like you and me, or maybe not me, I'm kind of in the science field. Like my mom, I don't know. My mom is kind of a bad example. Your siblings, your friends that are in non-science fields. So there's like people on this committee who look over projects and decide whether or not to approve them or not, depending on how ethical the research can be. For example, if the risks outweigh the benefits, then the committee has the right to say, no, you can't continue on with this study, you're not allowed to. So behind basically every single study out there that uses animals for research, there's a lot of ethical consideration that's gone behind it. And you have to realize that sometimes animal research is one of the only ways to be able to study a biological process. Like, for example, I mean, you can think of alternatives like cell culture, and in Latin it's in vitro, V-I-T-R-O. In vitro, basically you take cells, you put it on a dish, a petri dish, and it grows in a petri dish, and you can do experiments on it. You can observe how it changes, the growth and stuff like that, how it interacts. But although the cells are living, it's not as complex or as accurate as a model. Like, we are humans, we are basically a conglomeration of a bunch of cells, but in a highly ordered fashion. But if you rely directly only on cell cultures for our experiments, you might not be able to understand fully how systems interact, right? Another alternative you might think of is using computer models, like it's in Latin it's called in silico, S-I-L-I-C-O. In silico, basically you program a computer to imitate what you think would happen, and you run simulations over and over again, changing a bit here and there, and seeing what gets spit out. But the problem with that is that you can only build on what we already know, because computer models can only perform as programmed. And if you're trying to figure out a new biological process, or testing out a new drug, performing a surgical procedure or treatment, you can't really use computer models for that. So that's the downside for using computer models. And you might think that cell cultures in vitro might work, but when you're trying to study something that's larger than mere cellular cultures, for example, if you're trying to look at an entire organism behavior in general, or complex organ systems like the interaction between your brain and your stomach, for example, you can't really do that just based on a few cells on a dish, which is why we have animal research, because, well, I guess in humans, you can't really do that in humans sometimes too. I mean, you can, but animal research is a good stepping stone. It's a good intermediate between looking at cells on a dish and trying to observe the complexity of a human. And there's different types of animal research too, not just mice or rats, but also, like, so I think there's some people who use rabbits, pigs. You know, there's the famous Dahlia sheep cloning experiment. It really depends. Research scientists, they have to think closely about what animal you want to use for your research and be able to justify why. Because, of course, using animals in a research is not a right. Let me repeat that. Using animals in research is not a right. It is a privilege. Okay? So, although we are humans, and some people might think animals are beneath us, but we can't just willy-nilly go and perform experiments on animals. That is not ethical. So let me say it again. Using animals in research is not a right. It is a privilege. And so there's a lot of ethical justifications that need to be done for animal research, which is why sometimes it's a bit difficult to talk to animal rights activists who want to abolish all animal research, because sometimes I guess they're not as informed in the processes behind ethical ramifications, or basically everything that goes behind in trying to keep animals safe and trying to make sure you don't use as many animals. You only use as many animals as you need and not more than that. And that's a bit of my rant about animal research, I guess. So that brings me in a nice mindscape to continue with my essay on that. Yeah, that was a bit of a rant. I think I spoke a bit too much. Thanks for the info. No worries. Hope that was helpful in any way, even if you're not in science. Educational rant. I can go on to educational rants pretty often, to be honest. I can go on and on about a topic sometimes. when I really get into it. I try not to though. I guess partially because when I was in high school I used to be told off by my friends at the time for ranting. So I guess I get a little bit self-conscious. I'm just gonna put it in a chat that using animals in research is not a right. It is a privilege. It's very important to drill that into people. For people who think that it's okay to use animals and take it for granted. Oh, and that was that was 23 minutes and a half. Or 24 minutes and a half. That was kind of funny. I kind of just ranted for quite a long time, but it's useful for my essay, so I guess it wasn't procrastination after all, it was on topic rant, so I'm not too bothered by it. I guess I'll continue with Geminids for the music right now. I rather like it. I should focus more on the next cycle, yeah. But hey, now I know a bit more about what I'm gonna write about for my essay on animal stuff, research, so yeah. It's okay. I'll definitely start thinking a bit more though. I need to search up some statistics, because not only do I want to talk about that, I also want to talk about the impact on research scientists, because I want to search up the statistics for how many labs in the world require animal research or are based off animal research. And I think there's going to be quite a bit of an impact on that, so that's gonna do that. Although I'm not sure if there's any of my classmates watching right now, but I guess I started my essays a little bit late, so I guess they already started theirs. And emotional fatigue for people that work. Oh yeah, I know of that. We had a lecture on that too, and I've talked about it too. It's very important in terms of mental health too, for people who work with animals, because, well, mental health is pretty important. Well, sometimes it's hard to deal with that. Yeah. Although that's not quite the focus of my essay though, so I don't think I can incorporate emotional fatigue into my essay, but thanks for the suggestion anyways. Because I'm trying to talk about ramifications. Although ramification is usually a negative connotation, so yeah. Oh well. I mean, I can talk a bit about mental health too if you guys want, because not only do I have some experience with that, but also I did take neuroscience as a major for my undergraduate degree. So I know I've learned some of the biological processes behind stuff like that too. I took a really nice class back in 4th year called, I think it was something about drugs and neurotransmitters or something. I forgot the name of the course itself. It was taught by a very great professor, Dr. Stan Floresco. Shouting out to you. You're probably not gonna watch this stream, but shouting out to you, Dr. Stan. He's great. He's amazing. But yeah, so I know some bits about like the neurotransmitters behind, I don't know, depression and anxiety and stuff like that. Serotonin is an important hormone in your brain. Like, so the way hormones in your brain works is that your brain produces stuff called neurotransmitters, and there's also receptors that respond to those neurotransmitters, and when they click together they produce downstream reactions in your neurons or cells in your brain. And sometimes that can be a good thing, sometimes that can be a bad thing. Like, for example, if you drink caffeine, there's a molecule that binds to, I think, what receptors do they bind to? It starts with an A. Oh gosh, I don't remember anymore. It starts with an A, I think. Acetylcholine receptors? That's not quite right. I don't remember. But anyways, basically caffeine makes you less sleepy because they bind to those specific adenosine. Yes, thank you. Adenosine receptors. You know your stuff, man. They bind to adenosine receptors, and then they make you less sleepy. They bind to adenosine receptors so that your brain that normally the hormone in your brain that normally binds to those adenosine receptors go like, wait, there's not enough receptors because there's still that much hormone in between the cells. That's because they're taken up by the caffeine that you ingested. So the brain is like, we need more receptors because there's excess adenosine stuff that needs to be bound. So the brain produces more receptors. You're in science field yourself, you know it's engineering. That explains it for sure. But yeah, you're because after you intake caffeine, you become less sleepy, but then your brain produces even more receptors. And then afterwards, when the caffeine wears off, and there's not enough natural hormone to bind to those receptors, you become more sleepy. So that's why you have a caffeine crash. And also that's why some people get addicted to caffeine, is because you need to ingest more and more in order to keep up with the sheer amount of adenosine receptors that your brain is producing in response to the caffeine that you're ingesting. So it's kind of like an endless cycle. I don't drink coffee myself. Sometimes I drink tea, sometimes I drink coffee, but I don't rely on it. But that does mean that I get tired throughout the day, but that's okay. Woohoo, addiction, the worst. Caffeine crash. Yay! There's actually quite a bit of different types of addiction. Okay, I kind of want to keep going, but I really should write a bit more essays. So I'll probably talk a bit more during the next cycle, the next break. This is cycle number 4. How long has this gone for now? Let me double check. I don't remember. Did I change the cycle number already? When did I start? I started about 150. So 1, 2, 3. This is cycle number 4. Yes, that is true. Alright, so let me start another cycle of studying. And we can talk about, I don't know, addiction in half an hour, yeah? Let's start. get phone calling anxiety often, so I don't usually pick up phone calls unless it's from someone I know intimately. I try to avoid phone calls whenever possible. Mr. Bluefish, thanks for coming to my stream. That's a familiar name. I'm glad to see that there are people who are returning to visit streams. I'm glad to see some new faces as well. I really genuinely mean it too. Like, it makes me happy. I don't know if you can hear the smile in my voice. It's always nice to see people pop up in the streams. Even when I'm just studying silently. Mostly silently. I just came across a very interesting fact, so I couldn't help but whistle a bit. Did you know that animals have been used in the history of biomedical research as early as 384 to 322 before Christ? Like, that's over 2,000 years ago. Like, Aristotle or Erasistrus. It's crazy, that's so long ago. I've never thought about it that way, but in a sense, I guess I can't be surprised. Because I guess humans are naturally curious that way, and if you had access to animals back in the days... Oh no, back in the days, don't they used to like hunt for animals for food? Or is that even earlier? I'm not sure about what happened back in the days of Aristotle, but I guess if you had access to it and you were curious like Aristotle, he used animals in research. That's so long ago. Wow. People would be doing research when you first got to the first time. Honestly, what would you count as research? Like, if you were to eat a mushroom, you'd be like, oh, this guy got sick. But then if you eat this mushroom, the other guy didn't get sick. Would that be considered as research? Because if then even cavemen could do research. Anybody can do research. Technically, learning anything is just mini experiments. If you think about it that way, even babies are doing research right now. With no knowledge, anything is research. Exactly. scared me. Wow, that was another 24 minutes and a half. Hey, I actually got some more stuff down. That's nice. I kind of fleshed out my introductory paragraphs a bit more, so I'm happy with the progress I've made. What time is it? Okay, I can keep going. I'll start cycle 5 next. Change the music though. It's been there for the past 2 cycles or something. Although it is a very nice song. Let's see. Resurrections is always a nice choice. Yes, I'll continue with this as well. If you haven't checked it out, please do check out some of the videos I have on my channel too. I guess this is kind of self-plug as well. But hey, if it works, it works, right? Like, if I get to stream as well as promote some of my videos on the channel, why not? That's kind of funny. A little bit. Well, a lot of things are funny to me. What were we talking about before? We were talking about addiction. Addiction, although I really shouldn't laugh about that because addiction can be a very serious topic. Because, well, it's very important in terms of mental health, especially if it gets out of hand. Like, from what I understand, and this is just my opinion, so it might not be completely accurate, but addiction kind of involves the feeling of the urge. Urges are always difficult to deal with. Like when all you can think about is doing the thing. Like even when you're trying to just sleep, if you're trying to eat, if you're trying to work, but your mind keeps on drifting back to that, and it becomes kind of like a burning itch that you can't get rid of until you actually do the thing. Well, that's my take on it, at least, from what I know. And it can be, forgive my language, but a pain in the ass, really. It's a very serious topic for sure, but I wish that people in society can be a bit more open in talking about it. Like, it should be something that can be openly acknowledged. And addiction can be found in many different forms too, not just drug addiction, although it's very common and very dangerous. But it can also be more, well, there's like the lighter side, like caffeine addiction, where people have to drink coffee every morning or something like that in order to feel alert and being able to function. Addiction becomes a problem when it impacts with your daily function in daily life. Do we think video game and internet addiction is real? I think it could be. Like, if you're gonna go out, I don't know, camping or something, but all you can think about is, oh my gosh, the burning need to play games on your phone or go on the internet. And then, I guess in some cases, I think it could be considered an addiction. But it's kind of difficult to define because it's not very well talked about, so we don't have a lot of information to come by for the general public. And sometimes you rely on what you find on the internet to understand things about the world, which isn't always the most accurate things. But there's other forms of addiction too. Like, some people argue that some forms of non-suicidal self-injury can be an addiction as well. But that's a topic for another time. I think it's a bit too dark for today. I don't mind talking about it, but it's a bit difficult, isn't it? Although I wish it wasn't so difficult. It should be something that is addressed in society so people can be safe. Although I think it comes with some degree of anxiety too, doesn't it? Already? I already started talking. I just started talking. I'll talk a bit more, it's fine. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about in this particular topic? Because I could just go on a rant, really. Because, is that Devilman? What's Devilman? Where's Devilman? This is, if you're talking about the music, it's from a very popular platforming game called Celeste. Personally, I haven't played it before, but I'd like to play it someday if I can get over spending money on video games. Anyways, Celeste is a nice game, it has good music. What was I talking about? Addiction, anxiety. Anxiety is a pain to deal with sometimes, really. Yeah. And if it impacts your daily life, I highly recommend you talk to someone about it. It could be your friend if you're not comfortable talking to like a counselor, therapist, or even your GP or family doctor. I know it took me at least 3 years to muster up any courage to even think about going to a counselor or therapist or something like that. Video games can also distress. Can constant stress cause an addiction to it? It's a difficult question. No, sorry, I already read it out loud before you retracted it. Did you want me to continue with the answer or not? It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter either way for me. I think I'll take a longer break this time because I'm not sure how I'm gonna continue with my essay. I'll just continue chatting for now. I can go on a rant. Stress is another very important factor in life. We all have very different types of stress. Like some people are students, like me, but it can de-stress. Distress to de-stress, yes. Can constant stress cause an addiction? There's different... I'm not an expert on this for sure, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. But, there's many things, factors, environmental factors that could lead to an addiction, and I suppose stress could be one of the factors. Like, if you're stressed, and then you use video games or things to de-stress, and then whenever you're stressed, you feel the urge to play video games in order to feel better again, I think that could be considered a factor for sure. But it might not, some people might not consider it to be a healthy way, but I think, in my opinion, it's just everything in moderation. If you're playing video games sometimes and it doesn't take too much of your time, or it doesn't take over your life, or it doesn't impact with your daily life and social interactions with other people, for example, or like, I don't know, just your daily functioning, then I wouldn't consider that an addiction. That's healthy, that's normal. You're allowed to play video games. That is okay. It doesn't need to be a taboo. But if you're constantly playing video games to the point where you're ignoring your social responsibilities, your normal responsibilities, you're not taking care of yourself, or it's the only way you know to de-stress and you can't do anything else to de-stress, then it can be a problem, right? In that case. In which case, I think if you go to a therapist or counselor, they would probably tell you to find other outlets. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't really like going to counselors. Not that I have anything against it. I highly recommend you check them out if you have the need to and are able to. have the chance to, but they're not for everyone for sure, so don't feel too bad if they don't end up being very helpful, okay? Yeah, that's just my take though. It's a bit of a serious topic for sure. I really wish that it's easier to talk about, but I don't know why there's such a taboo about it. It can be because of the way we're raised. You see, I hope that was helpful. I'm not sure though. It's just me, I'm a random, insignificant being in a world who makes music. Dr. K, Healthy Gamer GG, psychiatrist and does like therapy sessions on Twitch. No, I haven't. That's pretty cool. I think the world needs a few more streamers like that. I think that could be very beneficial for people who need it. Although personally, sometimes if I really do need to calm down and de-stress, sometimes lately I have been just watching YouTube a lot. VTubers doing really cool stuff to open up the conversation. I'm glad. The world needs to know a bit more about it. The world needs to know that it's okay to have these kind of feelings. And it's okay not to be okay, yeah? So long as some of the stuff I'm saying sounds like him. I'm not a psychiatrist though. Although I have worked in psychiatry before. Back in 4th year undergrad, I was a research assistant in the Department of Psychiatry at the university I was at. Yeah, I worked in a mood disorders clinic, and we were looking at trying to identify characteristics of depression before, you know, actually diagnosing someone with depression. So that's some interesting things. I only did it for a year though. It was a part-time job. I wish I could have done more, but I graduated anyways, so it was a good experience. Maybe I picked some things up from there, maybe not. Though sometimes I think I'm just projecting my own feelings onto other people when I say things like that. Sometimes I'm parroting things that my friends say to me, sometimes I'm just speaking what I feel like. I guess this turned into a just chatting stream now, Yeah, this... Well, I hope that was helpful. I think my main goal for doing YouTube stuff or streaming is for, well, I guess for enjoyment for other people, but I really do hope that I can help people too. So if I have the ability to, then why not use it, right? I guess that kind of ties into the character behind this, like, this Shadow Tenshi persona character. Me. It is me, but it's a different form of me because it's a form that exists in a virtual world where the fabric between it and what I call the dreamscape is a lot thinner. And I say that because I do have a lot of nightmares, and I combat them almost every night basically. And that's why I guess I'm in this virtual form in my nightmares a lot, because I do notice I have magical powers sometimes. It depends on the environment for sure, but I guess in the dreamscape I do often feel very hopeless and helpless, because although there's a lot of things I could do, there's also a lot of things I couldn't do. I'd watch people get hurt or die and things like that in my dreams a lot. And I can't do anything about it in the dreamscape, but if I have the ability to in the human world or through the virtual world to people watching this stream, then I'm gonna take it with any chance I have. So I do hope that me just talking about anything like in this form is able to reach those who need to hear it. Again, that's just my opinion though. I am one of like however many billions of people in the world there are right now. So I'm glad for whoever is here in the stream right now and just listening to me ramble. What causes nightmares, in my opinion? People say stress, but I'm not sure. Scientifically, I would have to say stress. Like, sometimes there are worries in your regular day-to-day life can transfer over to nightmares. Before that, I need to define dreams, because in psychology, clowns. Yeah, for sure. That could be one thing. What you experience in your day-to-day life. If you experience a clown in your day-to-day life, you might see a clown in your dreams. But I digress. Dreams, they're usually in the REM phase of sleep, REM. Rapid eye movement is the acronym. And many psychology studies have found that, a hypothesis anyways, is that the brain waves, or what's going on in your brain when you dream, kind of mimics what happens when you're awake. I wish I could barely dream. Like, it's not nice having to dream basically every single night and remember vividly the details of everything when you wake up. Like, I did wake up at 5:30 a.m. this morning from a nightmare too. So, yeah, there's that. Anyways, I got kind of off topic again. REM sleep, it kind of mimics what you were doing in real life. I mean, the brainwaves kind of mimic what they're like when you're awake. And another interesting study I read about, they kind of looked at Tetris players. If you're into Tetris. I used to play a lot of Tetris. But anyways, Tetris players, they actually see Tetronymous in their dreams. Or they dream about Tetris sometimes. And that could be a reflection because they basically look at Tetris pieces all day, every day. And yeah. Also, if I shall, it might be that you barely dream, but it also might be that you do dream, but immediately forget about it when you wake up, which happens to, like, I think more than half the people in the world. I'm not sure about the statistic, don't quote me on that. I wish I could be part of that statistic sometimes, but alas, I'm one to have combat situations in the dreamscape. It's difficult sometimes. Though, if nightmares are more common in children, but I don't think a lot of people know why. It's been debated for sure, but I'm not sure, scientists aren't sure. Maybe that just means I'm still a kid at heart, who knows? You know, I don't mind being a kid sometimes. I mean, I do realize that I have to stay professional sometimes, especially if I get a job in the future. My dream is to be able to become a doctor, and if I were to be in that particular job at that point, I will remain professional, but I don't mind being childish sometimes too. I guess I grew up a bit too fast. So, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I didn't have much of a teenagehood. Although I am technically considered an adult right now. But sometimes I don't really want to feel like one. Wouldn't it be very nice to be a kid again? To be unaware of stresses in the world? And, I don't know, be happy a lot of the time. You can avoid your responsibilities. Well, simply because you don't have any responsibilities. Although being an adult can be nice sometimes too, because I guess people listen to you a bit more. Well, at least in my opinion. People might listen to you a bit more. Don't we all wish we can drop some responsibilities and ignore it for a while? Yeah. So I think it's very important sometimes, if you're like like me and you have a really busy life and you're just rushing things all over, and I think it's important to sometimes to just stop, take a break, take a deep breath, and just do nothing for a little while. And it's perfectly fine to have these breaks in your life. Why not just avoid responsibilities now? Isn't that kind of what I'm doing right now? I'm avoiding the responsibility of writing my essay. Because I want to make the excuse because I can't think of anything to write at the moment. I guess that's partially true. But I also feel like I have this responsibility to keep this stream, I don't know, kind of nice for people who are listening. There's 7 concurrent viewers, oh my gosh. Wow, that's the most I've seen so far. I'm so happy. There are actually people listening to me. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy now. But yeah, thank you for coming to my stream, and for whoever is continuing to listen. Yeah, responsibilities. The responsibilities are important as an adult for when you need to get things done though. 8. Nice. Oh my gosh, I'm happy. I'm so happy I can't stop smiling. It's totally okay to be serious and professional, but it's also important to stop and enjoy life sometimes. Like, if you're driving on a highway, just drive. Don't like get distracted, you know. But if you're just walking, for example, on a path, and it's okay to just stop and bend down and smell the flowers. You like the stream? It's very chill. Thank you. Well, it's just me talking right now because I'm tired of writing my essays. When I'm doing my studying stream, like when I'm actually studying, it's just me being silent most of the time. So I guess he came at the right time. Thank you, Rafis. Wow, that's a new name. Oh my gosh, there's new viewers coming to my stream. I'm so happy. Yay. Yeah, but yeah, it's totally okay to just stop and bend down and smell the flowers a little bit, because you don't know when you get the chance to next time. And you don't need to be in a rush all the time. Well, I guess sometimes you might feel like you need to rush, but when you have the chance to, essays are weakness. Yeah, same. Yeah. When you have the chance to, it's always nice to just take a break. I think it does a lot for your mental health as well. Because, well, let me tell you a small story too. Back in 4th year university, my university was semester based, so there was a semester 1 and a semester 2. Usually science students in that university take 5 courses, 5 3-credit courses per term, so 15 credits. For those who are more studious, 6 courses, like 18 credits, but that's a little bit pushing it. I've had a full course load throughout basically all my years of university, but that particular year, in my 4th year, semester 1, I took 21 credits, so that's the equivalent of 7 courses, and they were non-electives too, because I really wanted to graduate in 2020, and I did, but that's another point. I really wanted to graduate, but all the classes that were necessary for me to graduate, they only had 1 section. So I couldn't register for different times. I couldn't move a course to a 2nd semester, so I took 7 courses in 1st semester. And I got through it, actually. I only got a single B. The rest, I did pretty well. But, okay, oh yeah, I also did volunteering, and also, I think, did I do speech and drama that year? Or did I stop the year before? I think I did speech and drama that year as well. Yes. And I had a part-time job. And I got through it that semester. But I crashed the 2nd semester. I was in a rush the 1st semester, but 2nd semester, even though I normally handle 6 courses, 18 credits and stuff like that, full course load with volunteering, classes, and exams, speech and drama, everything. I normally could handle it, but because of that one semester where I pushed myself a bit too hard, I crashed in the second semester. My grades dropped, I didn't do very well, and I had to drop a course for the first time in my life. And I missed some midterms because I actually passed out. So I think the take-home message is that don't push yourself too hard. Even if you think you can handle it, you don't have to be in a rush all the time, or else there's going to be inevitably a time when you crash. And the second semester was when I did. Overworked, probably. Although that second semester wasn't when I was overworked, it was the semester before. Although I pushed myself through the first semester, I guess my body couldn't handle it in the second semester. So, yeah, don't do that. Don't take 7 courses as a science student in that university, along with a part-time job and volunteering, because even if you're like me and can get through the first semester, I crashed second semester. Just don't. Like, really, just don't even think about it. I mean, although it is important to challenge yourself. What made you push so hard to wrap up university so soon? I didn't want to do an extra year. Oh, I guess it was kind of silly of me. I guess even as a teenager, I've been rushing a lot. How many people are in the stream right now? I'm thinking about what I should say. There's only 9 people, so that I think it's okay. I guess it's kind of a secret, so I guess you guys are the first ones to know online. Well, who don't know me in real life, but I finished high school in 2 years instead of the normal 5 it takes. Yeah, I skipped 3 years. So I guess even since then, it's been ingrained in me to keep pushing forward, to rush, to do things as fast as possible if you have the ability to. In a sense, that was good, because it made me who I am today. I wouldn't be here if I didn't go through that. It was challenging, it was fun, it was nice, and it pushed me, and it was liberating, for sure. It was a very nice experience. But as an adult now, I don't regret that decision for sure, but as an adult now, I think it's time that I take a step back sometimes and relax a bit more. Because we all only have one life, we only have one shot, and if you rush too hard, you might lose out on experiencing all the nice stuff too. There's a lot of nice stuff that you might find if you just stop and think a little bit, or stop and just smell the fresh air a little too. There's nice things you can find. Your perspective is that 3 years or so we can relax a bit now. Exactly. That's what I think too. I think that's what a lot of us think. Wait, Emily, you can talk about that yourself too if you want. Emily was in the same high school as me. But yeah, so I guess we both were kind of rushing. But I think that's one of the reasons why I took half a gap year, because I graduated in 2020 May, and I started my master's degree this year February, so that's almost a year of gap year, I suppose. And it was definitely a nice break, and it really put things into perspective, because a lot of people I met in university, they often ask me, well, why I keep rushing, and why do you want to get things done so early? And at the time I didn't really have a nice answer. And I think I understand where they're coming from now, because a lot of them were telling me like, but you're missing out on this and that, and like, you know, being able to enjoy youth and being like 20 or anything. You never experienced it or overworking. I guess I just pushed myself a bit too hard. I've been like that even since I was a child. I took like a lot of extracurriculars. I did figure skating for like 7 or 8 years. Did ballroom dancing at some point. I did Hapkido recently. Although when I was younger I took swimming as well, dancing lessons, ballet, tennis, table tennis, badminton. I did some skiing as well. Took speech and drama. I had English tutoring, math tutoring, music lessons, piano lessons, violin lessons, music theory lessons, everything. Oh yeah, I took ping pong. Did I say that? But yeah, I think it's been ingrained in me since I was young, so it's a bit difficult to take a step back. As I said, you sure feel different. I guess. Although we're all different in that sense. I'm really glad I got to experience all that as a child though, too, because it definitely built up my skill sets and it allows me to adapt to many situations. But I think it's very Asian can relate, yeah. But I think as a 19-year-old now, that's it, I've set my age on stream, I'm 19. As a 19-year-old right now, how could one function right now with all the activities? I don't know, I got through it somehow. I don't know how to answer that. I guess I didn't really have a social life and still don't. But yeah, as a 19-year-old now, it's time to step back a bit and enjoy my 20s. Still haven't figured out having almost graduated. I want to argue that I haven't figured it out either, but I don't think people would appreciate that. Yeah. Well, I'm turning 20 in October, so that's another 7 months-ish. I'm a Libra. I struggle with making decisions. That's a characteristic of Libras, I think. Yeah. Libras are nice. I don't usually follow horoscopes, but as an Asian, I grew up Asian. A lot of my Asian mother, she talks about... Nah, don't say that. My mother talks a lot about horoscopes, so I learned a lot about that when I grew up. Like, I'm a Libra, born in October. 2 brothers are, one of them's a Gemini, in May. The other one is 处女座. I don't know, that's in Chinese. 处女座. What's that in September one? What's the one in English? It's 处女座 in English. The one with the girl. The one before Libra. Hang on, I need to search that up. I forget words in English. Horoscope before Libra. Virgo, that's the word. Virgo. Yes. And there's different characteristics, like Libras, they struggle with making decisions, as I've said, because we're a scale and balance. We balance out 2 decisions and we can never pick one. Apparently Gemini are more prone to being social and open and talking. And I think Virgo, the stereotype is that they're neat freaks. Or they are picky about some things. Oh well, I don't... It's stereotypical for sure. And it's hard not to fall into pitfalls. And as a scientist, I have to say that it's kind of bull. But it's fun to think about sometimes and use as an excuse, because I really do struggle with making decisions. Please, that's why I don't really want to talk about this, because I don't want to seem like I'm bragging or anything. Or maybe we can just forget about all that for now. Then do you think you're a stereotypical Aries? Aries, the stereotype is that sometimes they tend to rush into decisions. I don't know if you're like that. Although they can be very sweet, but they're a little bit quick to jump the gun, as is what my mom says. She's an Aries. And my mom kind of fits that decision, sorry mom. But she agrees, so I think that's okay to say. But Emily, do you think you are like that? We're all Finnish country. No, don't say that! We all have places where we succeed. Like, you guys are you're not failures. What's the noun for succeeding? What's the noun for succeeding? Success. You're all successors. Successors? That's not the right word. But anyways, you're not failing because you're making me happy. You make me happy by being here and being able to successful, yes. You make me happy by coming to my stream and listening to me talk. I'm really grateful for everyone who's here right now and keeping up a conversation somehow. Yeah. It's more like you procrastinate the decision than you're forced to make a decision. You're just glad that you're in a STEM field. Isn't there like a meme that the three main choices for an Asian child when they grow up is lawyer, doctor, engineer? I guess my family is kind of like that. I have 2 older brothers, one's an engineer, one's a doctor, and I'm studying to become a doctor. Oh my gosh, this is such a stereotypical Asian family. Sorry. Yeah, my 2 brothers are definitely successful. I sound so mature. A lot of people say that to me. I try to sound mature so I get listened to more, I suppose. But I guess I have been told, even as a younger child, that I'm more mature than peers of my age. Yeah, but then that might not always be a good thing. There's another meme I saw online where people say that as a child, oh my gosh, you're so mature for your age. But that might also mean that you might be forced to grow up a bit too fast. You've long found that there's always another Asian that is better than you in one way or another, but we all have something we're personally good at. That is well said. Well said, yes. You all have something you are personally good at. And maybe you don't realize it right now. Maybe other people can see it in you, but you might not be able to see it. So don't feel too bad about yourself. Don't put yourself down, because you're special in every way. Like, if you think about it, I want to draw something out. Give it a moment. Let me see if I can pull up something on stream so I can draw things out. The background music is nice, I think, so I'll keep that there. I'll give you a moment, please. Stunning stream info. Can I open up OneNote, maybe? OneNote is what I use to take notes and stuff, because I can print out PDFs there. And pause jam drawing screen. I can doodle a bit, but it's fine. Yeah, people say that you're mature because you have a serious face, although it's your neutral face. In reality, your mind is often blank. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing for sure. I'm not sure what my serious face looks like though, because, well, I guess I'm kind of self-conscious about my appearance too, which is why I don't show my face on streams and stuff. And I don't plan on it for the time being. Let me see. How do I open up a page in OneNote and put it on stream? If you want, make a new notebook, because all my notebooks are for my studying so far. Wait, I don't want to open a notebook. I want to make a new notebook. Sorry, give me a moment, please. Miscellaneous notebook. Yeah, that's a good name for a notebook. Well, if only it'll let me create it and stuff. Sorry. I'm not sure how people stream so well. They always have something to say, they don't make the atmosphere awkward. Let me date this page. Alright, and open up. Let's see, sorry. Main 1, 2, 3. There we go. You can see that, right? Kind of, not really. That's strange. Why is it behaving like this? Why is it behaving like this? I don't understand. Anybody who knows how to stream and wants to help me out a bit? Oh gosh. I'm making the atmosphere awkward now. Oh no. You're pretty sure the stream hasn't gone awkward on you? Really? Well, maybe it's just me then. Thanks for telling me that. I'm glad you think that way. Kinoseika. Why isn't the OneNote tab working though? That's strange. You guys can see this though. Okay, maybe I'll just crop this. Like that. Yeah, okay. So what I was gonna say is that everyone is unique and special because, hang on. Can you see? You can see this. Okay. I'm gonna draw. Like, for example, if this is you, I'm gonna say you. You are born to 2 parents. Probably. You might be born to 3, I'm not sure. And your parents are born each to 2 parents. So that's 2 people. That's 4 people. And so on, 8. And if you add all this up, you can't see the pen marks? Oh gosh. It's like, no! Why? I was drawing too. That's strange. Edit, convert. Do I have to set the properties? Oh no. Aw, I'm sad now. Why doesn't it work? Bit 7? Windows graphic. Ah! Like that. You guys can see that now, right? Yeah, there we go. Anyways. Yeah, as I was saying, this is you, and you're born to 2 parents, and each of them are born to 4 parents, and 8, and so on. And there's probably like, I don't know, a few decades between you guys. You can see that's good. So now, think about over the years, pick a random day, I don't know. I was talking about Aristotle recently, so that was 300 BC. Now think about how many decades has gone by. Let's just say 300 BC, and now it's like 2000-ish AD. So that's 2,300 years. And if we say there's 50 years per generation, so every 100 years there's 2 generations. So there's, wow, think about it for a bit. 2,300 years is equal to 460 generations. Now think about how many people had to come by and meet each other to produce you. Because if one person, even just one out of the sheer number of people that over history, if even just one person didn't exist, there wouldn't be this, there wouldn't be you. So you are special. Every single one of you are special. And don't forget that. When you think that you're a failure, when you think that when you're putting yourself down for who knows what reason. I mean, you can continue putting yourself down if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it. And you don't need to compare yourself to other people because you are you. There's only one of you in the world. I know you've probably heard it so many times already, but you being here is not chance. there's a lot of people throughout history who came together in order for you to exist. And there are people in the world who appreciate that. Like me. I appreciate you exist because you are watching my stream. And I hope that my message can get through a little bit. For those... Carla Jagger? Who's that? Sorry, I'm not very well versed in society things. Let me search her up. Carla Jagger? Is that how you pronounce her name? Oh, from Attack on Titan! Ah, that's her name. Ah, okay. I've watched a little bit of Attack on Titan. He's already special because he was born into this world. Ah, I didn't know that. That's nice. You're feeling your ancestors? I've only watched a bit of Attack on Titan, unfortunately. I actually did a piano arrangement that I never posted on YouTube for Omake Pot Thadlib. I don't know how to pronounce it. The Levi's theme. The piano one that's really sad. Yeah, I played it for a while a few years back. Levi Pod. Yeah, I played it. I made a piano arrangement of it, but it never came to fruition. You're a woman of culture. Not enough culture, though. Yeah, it's an amazing song, though. It's very emotional. And you are not failing your ancestors. We all have our own purpose in life. Yes, I do have perfect pitch. It irks me when I hear a song that I already encoded in my brain in a different key. Because I'm just like, but that's not the original key. The notes are not supposed to be like that. And it kind of irritates me a bit, so there's that. Yeah. I've watched some anime, but I'm not familiar with a lot of them. I think sometimes I know the music of anime more than anime itself. I think some of my covers, although I've watched some of the anime in its entirety, but for some of the music covers I've done, I know the music better than the anime, for sure. Like the Parasite cover, I've never seen the Parasite anime in its entirety. I've seen a little bit of it, but I know a general gist of it. So I think it's important to know a general story of animes or whatnot before I make music arrangements, because it's important to capture the background or backstory or feelings behind it. But did I watch Howl's? Apparently I did, but I don't remember it, so I want to watch it again sometime. Apparently it's like a song. I listened to it and I recognized the song, which means I watched it before, and I asked my mom and she's like, yeah, she put it on before when I was young. So I recognized the song from when I was young, but I don't remember it much. So I'm probably gonna watch it again when I have the time. But yeah, I've watched lately. I've been watching Cells at Work though, so there's that. Hataraku Saibou. There's season 2 came out. I read the manga. I read the manga for Code Black as well. It was quite the ride. Ghibli hits different after puberty. Definitely watch it again? Alright. I'll definitely watch it again then. Another song I recognized as an adult, but didn't know where it was from until I asked my mom, is Kiki's Delivery Service. That one. Apparently when I heard it presumably for the first time, I hummed along to it, but I didn't know how I knew it, and I asked my mom. It's like, yeah, you watched the movie when you were young. I'm just like, oh, okay. So I guess the music stuck with me, but I don't remember plots much. Code Black is a bit it's a bit graphic and mature. But it's talks about some dark issues that I'm glad that they were able to address in a professional-ish manner. Yeah, that's just my opinion though. Yeah. I guess it's kind of informative too. Yeah. I think, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. We were talking about animes we've watched. I think a guilty pleasure is that I do play some Otome games on my phone sometimes. I guess I've always just been waiting for, I don't know, people to protect me and look after me. Guilty pleasures. One I've been playing recently is Obey Me, One Master to Rule Them All. And I made a piano arrangement of one of the main character theme songs a few months ago, so there's that. Yeah, I think I like the music as well, which is one of the reasons why I continue to play the game. Kiki Japanese Moon is also Detective Conan's? Really? Okay. I didn't know that. That's cool. I watched Detective Conan. I'm waiting for the 24th movie to come out, so hyped for that. I have my brothers watched Detective Conan too, and I have the Chinese version of the manga here with me. I have volumes 1 to 48, but I think there's like 100 or so now. So I've been following it online, the manga at least. I've stopped watching the anime a while ago because a lot of them were filler recently. You love me. Thank you. Also, AU. Thank you. Oh, wow, that's another new viewer. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so many new viewers this stream. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Although I think mostly people are watching because I'm chatting now and not working on my essays, right? Because streams are probably a lot more interesting with me talking than me staying silent and you guys studying with me, right? Although I'll probably still do more of that for now. The title works. Yeah. What was the title? I should really work on it. That's okay. I can afford to lose some time like this because I enjoy doing this. See, that's what I mean, you know? It's totally okay sometimes, if you can afford the time to at least, to just take a step back and relax a bit. And I guess this is my form of relaxation. And let me move the microphone a bit. Yeah, now that there's so many of you guys, you have to give us a fan name. Why do I have to be the one to give you guys a fan name though? Why don't you guys pick one out that you think is suitable and then fight over it yourselves? Just kidding. I'm not really good at attentioners. Angels. Would that be too cringe though? It's time to brainstorm. Meanwhile, let me try to play around with the mic a bit. So I got this mic. Well, my dad got me this mic and it has some really cool functions I want to try out but never did. Hang on. If I press this, I think now there's like left, right. So if I go to the left side over here, you should hear more in one ear. And if I talk on the right side over here, do you hear more in your right ear or something? I'm not sure. OMG, it worked. Yes, did it work? Binaural, yeah, it worked. Sweet, that's fun. I never got a chance to play around with this mic yet, so I'm glad it works. ずっと見てるよ. That's just kind of cringe for me though. And we guys are just cracking up. This is fun. This is funny. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. The technology is awesome. The left side, I think. And this is probably the right side. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Okay, let me change it back. This is yeah. This is back to a normal mode where it's probably the same in both years now. That was fun. Yay, I'm glad it works. I guess I could use that in my next arrangement sometime if I want. Oh, I'm probably gonna use it in my what was it, dramaturgy arrangement. I'm working on that right now. Well, I want to work on it, but I have other stuff planned for now. Dramaturgy by Eve, the one where it's like, the beginning part has binaural. Like, beginning part. Let me try to imitate it. Okay, now it's back to binaural. And then the beginning part is like da 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 da. Okay, that was kind of funny. Main part of dramaturgy was like that. I can pronounce it now. Yeah, I can. I tried. Dramaturgy. The beginning part of it is like that. It's a really cool song, and if I'm gonna make a piano arrangement of it, I think I can play around with the settings of the microphone and try to reproduce that. Right? I'm glad it works, so I can try it with that. There's not a lot of songs with binaural, and that's definitely unique. Although on YouTube, so the Untitled Mafu-Mafu-san and Strawa-san, they both covered Loki, and well, they covered it together, but there are two different versions, and someone made a mashup. So there's Mafu-Mafu-san's version in the right ear, and Strawa-san's version in the left ear. And I've been listening to that sometimes, and it works well together, I think. It's very cool how technology has come so far that you can, well, do that. Like, if you imagine just 10 years ago, when we were still in the ages of, what was it, DVD players, CD players, even more before that, tape players. I think I still have some tapes. Think about how far we've come since then. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? Yeah. What was I gonna do? A lot of people re-upload sounds in binaural and it gets good views, or like 8D audio. 8D. How is it 8D? Okay, I understand 2D. 2D is like online, but like 8D. Hang on, let me. It's like, hang on. If 2D is like this because it's left and right? This is 2D audio, and then or is that 1D audio? And then if you have the forward and backward as well. Left, right, forward, backward. Is this considered 3D audio? What's 8D audio? Dilemmas. Why is it considered 8D? Like that's like a dimension that you can't access. Even teleportation is like the 13th dimension or 11th dimension? I think it's 11th, right? What's 8D? What's the 8th dimension? Like, I'm familiar with the first, second, and third dimension. Stereo and a bit of special reverb that people call 8D because it's cooler. I mean, it does kind of look like a happy face, doesn't it, with glasses? Did they purposely choose 8D so that it represents... Maybe it represents people being happy with glasses when they listen to stereo and a bit of special reverb audio. Well, one can imagine. Well, sometimes time and space. That's 3D. 40 if you argue a bit. 80 is just a name. Okay. Aw, pity. I wanted to learn more about the different dimensions. I have some my dreamscape self had some experience in the 11th dimension, the teleportation one. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't though. Spatial. Is it spatial with a C or spatial with a T? I think spatial with a T infers that it's like the string theory. Spatial with a T infers that it's directional, right? And spatial with a C means regarding to space, or like the state of being, right? I think there was a distinction between the two, but I wasn't sure. 8D is just a track that has been conditioned with programs that you can mimic sound that can come in 360 degrees around your head. Ah, I see. 360 degrees. Nice. I think I've seen one of the videos like that before. Back when I was a teenager and I was watching Dan and Phil, the British YouTubers. I think they posted a video where they had 8D, which was pretty cool. I say back when I was a teenager, but that wasn't very long ago, was it? Ah, well. What kind of... I don't know what I can do with it for music arrangements, though, unless the song itself has that kind of characteristics. I'm not sure, though. Dear Supreme Leader, I must go sleep. I'll see you later, my queen of bells. Thanks, Emily. Queen. Supreme Leader. Oh gosh. What has this become? Oh no. What has happened? What happened? Since when did I become a queen? I'm a queen? The positioning of instruments could be determined with AD. That's true. That's true. Although it'd be kind of difficult for people who have trouble hearing when you're right. I'm trying to be more considerate. If I was doing music with multiple people, yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'd have to have more friends to do collabs with other people. Ha 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 ha. Thanks for coming, Emily, by the way. Yeah, I don't know many people, enough people to do collabs with multiple people. Which is kind of another reason why I want to join Niji-sanji. Cool? Oh, okay, I'll take a look afterwards. 4:53 p.m. right now where I am. Maybe I'll end the stream here. I guess I'm not ending the stream with technical problems this time. That's good. Yeah, I'll change this face. I'm not ending the stream with technical problems. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The running gag is over. Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll end the stream here. Thank you for everyone who came and watched, especially all the new viewers I saw who commented as well. That makes me really happy. Thank you for coming to my stream. Yes. See you next time. Bye.